It started rough. Brutally rough. The Golden State Warriors opened the game like they were stuck in cement, slow, undersized, and overwhelmed. The Rockets came out swinging, and before you could blink, it was 7-0. Then 13-5. The Warriors looked lost, and the crowd was tense. A bad dream? Maybe. But for Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, this wasn't unfamiliar territory. This was the storm before the calm, the chaos before the takeover. But what came next wasn't just basketball. It was poetry. Steph Curry, the maestro of movement, the face of a dynasty, decided enough was enough. Despite being shadowed by defenders and bumped on every screen, he began orchestrating the impossible. He hit floaters, pull-up threes, and off-balance daggers. He scored in clusters, controlling the pace like a composer with a symphony at his fingertips. And then there was Jimmy. Jimmy Butler, often overlooked, rarely outworked. He's not the flashiest. He doesn't need to be. But he's the guy you trust when the lights are brightest and the stakes are highest. Butler played like a man possessed, grabbing rebounds, diving for loose balls, rotating on defense like his life depended on it. But it wasn't just hustle. It was precision. It was dominance. Together, they combined for 56 of the Warriors' 95 points. Curry dropped 31. Butler added 25. That's nearly 60% of the team's offense coming from just two players. In a game where the rest of the roster was shaky at best, this dynamic duo was the difference between defeat and victory. The first half. That belonged to them. They kept the Warriors breathing when it looked like they were drowning. Shot after shot, possession after possession, they clawed the team back into contention. And then, they took the lead. Still, the win was anything but easy. If you're a Warriors fan, you probably spent part of the game screaming at your screen, or into the void, because of Steve Kerr's baffling lineup decisions. The starting five, undersized and defensively weak, was absolutely dominated on the glass early. The Rockets out-rebounded Golden State 16-8 in the first quarter alone. And we're talking about a Rockets squad that wasn't even playing well. Jalen Green shot 3 for 15. Fred VanVleet? Just 4 for 19. But somehow, the Rockets stayed within striking distance. Why? Because the Warriors, despite having the best shooters on the court, kept rolling out lineups that couldn't defend or rebound. Kerr's decision to bench Kevin Looney, one of the team's most reliable big men, in favor of a small ball rotation puzzled even casual fans. Instead of size, we got Buddy Hield, GP2, and Quinton Post. All talented in their own right, but not the answer to the Rockets' physicality. Then something happened. Midway through the second quarter, Kerr finally tried something new. Gue Santos checked in, joining Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green in a rare three-forward lineup. The result? An immediate +8 run. Suddenly, the Warriors were moving better. The defense tightened. The rebounding improved. It was working. And yet, in true mystery fashion, Santos was benched for the second half. And those productive lineups disappeared again. But once more, it didn't matter. Because Steph and Jimmy would not be denied. In the second quarter, Curry went off for 8 straight points, pulling up from deep, splitting double teams, gliding to the rim like a man in a trance. It wasn't just offense, it was leadership. His energy was contagious. And Butler? He followed it with a defensive clinic. Switching across positions, blocking shots, getting steals, and crashing the boards. And when Looney finally got minutes at center again, the whole floor balanced. The ball movement returned. The Warriors didn't just look good, they looked dangerous. But let's not pretend it was perfect. Golden State still has glaring issues. Kerr's small ball obsession nearly cost them the game. The bench rotations need work. And with the playoffs looming, there is no margin for error. If this team is going to make a deep run, they need size. They need toughness. They need Gue Santos. They need Looney. They need more than just Steph and Jimmy dragging the team through the fire every night. But tonight? Tonight, it was enough. Tonight, the Warriors found a way. Not because the system was perfect. Not because the strategy was sound. But because two players, two warriors in every sense of the word, refused to lose. Jimmy Butler was everything the Warriors needed and more. He looked like a seasoned vet who had been with this team for years, not someone still integrating into the system. His ability to blend the effort of a role player with the presence of a superstar was awe-inspiring. And Steph? He's simply timeless. In a game where his teammates were out of sync, his coach was experimenting mid-battle, and the opposing team refused to quit, he stood tall. Clutch shots. Fast breaks. Momentum killers. He did it all. And he made it look easy. This was more than a game. This was a statement. A reminder that when you have greatness on your side, anything is possible. And let's not overlook the chemistry brewing between Curry and Butler. The unspoken connection. The way they fed off each other's energy. You could see it, the looks, the nods, the timing on screens. These two weren't just playing basketball. They were telling a story. A story of redemption. Of grit. Of two men who have been counted out more times than they can remember, now standing together, defying the odds again. When Butler bullied his way into the paint late in the fourth and kicked out to Curry for a deep three that splashed through the net with less than 2 minutes to play, the arena shook. It was the dagger. The exclamation point. The proof that even through all the chaos, the heart of a champion still beats in the Bay. Warriors 95. Rockets 89. Final score. Not a blowout. Not pretty. But a win carved from stone. A victory earned through sheer will. And here's the kicker, this might just be the beginning. If the Warriors can learn from tonight, if Kerr adjusts the rotations, if the team embraces size, if the bench tightens up, then this squad becomes dangerous. Lethal even. Because if Curry and Butler can do this with the odds stacked against them, imagine what they can do when the pieces around them finally click. This was a message to the league, don't sleep on Golden State. Not now. Not with these two leading the charge. Steph Curry, 31 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Jimmy Butler, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. Together, they were unstoppable. And while questions remain about coaching decisions and depth, one thing is crystal clear, this team has the firepower, the leadership, and the heart to chase something special. So next time the Warriors fall behind early, don't panic. Because if Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are on the floor, you're never truly out of the fight. And here's the key takeaway from the channel, delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.